Comrade Shen Zhiqing, the organization requires you and Comrade Chief to undergo a temporary divorce. Gazing at the divorce agreement on the table, I recalled the tragic outcome of my previous life. Waiting in lonely widowhood for 30 years for that man. Fine, I'll sign. Under the astonished gazes of everyone present, I elegantly penned my signature. Having been reborn into this life, who still cares about being the chief's wife? 1 September 1978, Yanjing Military Compound. Comrade Shen Zhiqing, the organization requires you and Chief Liu to proceed with a temporary divorce. In accordance with the higher-ups' work arrangements. Political Commissar Lao Lu sat across from me, his expression as grave as if he were announcing a matter of national military importance. I lowered my head and looked at the divorce agreement on the table, a tumult of emotions swirling within me. To think that being reborn 30 years into the past would bring me back to such a moment. In my previous life, I foolishly waited for Liu Xiangbei for a full 30 years because of this so-called temporary divorce. He claimed it was necessary for work, promising we would remarry in a few years. But that few years stretched into a lifetime. I waited until my death without ever seeing him return. And I, from the bloom of youth at 23, withered into a 53-year-old woman, faded and worn. Comrade Zhiqing, what are your thoughts? Lao Lu, seeing my silence, pressed the question once more. I lifted my gaze and looked at Liu Xiangbei seated nearby. He wore the same expressionless mask I remembered, as though this were nothing more than routine official business. How long will it be? I asked. Well, it's uncertain for now. It may take a few years, Lao Lu replied, somewhat awkwardly. A few years? That's exactly what they said last time. Chief Liu, what do you think? I directed the question squarely at Liu Xiangbei. Finally, Liu Xiangbei turned to look at me, his gaze complex. Zhiqing, this is the organization's arrangement. We must comply. Comply? In my past life, I complied for a lifetime, and what did it get me? I picked up the pen and swiftly signed my name on the divorce agreement. Very well, I agree. The office fell into instant silence. Even Lao Lu was taken aback. Clearly, they hadn't expected me to agree so readily. Liu Xiangbei even rose to his feet. Zhiqing you. What? Chief Liu. Having second thoughts? I set down the pen and let out a cold laugh. Since it's the organization's arrangement, let's complete the procedures quickly. I have other matters to attend to. Lao Lu, recovering his composure, hurriedly said, Right. Let's head to the Civil Affairs Bureau now. Along the way, Liu Xiangbei attempted several times to speak with me, but I coldly rebuffed him each time. At the Civil Affairs Bureau, the clerk visibly started upon seeing our documents. A military chief divorcing was no trivial matter. Are you certain about the divorce? The clerk asked cautiously. Certain, I answered before Liu Xiangbei could speak. The clerk glanced at Liu Xiangbei, who frowned and nodded. 10 minutes later, we held our divorce certificates. From marriage to divorce, a mere 8 months had passed. As we stepped out of the bureau, Liu Xiangbei could no longer contain himself. Zhiqing, we need to talk. Comrade Liu, I deliberately addressed him by his surname. We have no ties now. What is there to discuss? Zhiqing, you know this is only temporary. In a few years, In a few years? I cut him off. Comrade Liu, we already have the divorce certificates. What few years are you referring to? My words left Liu Xiangbei speechless. I turned and walked away without a backward glance. Behind me, Liu Xiangbei called out, Zhiqing, where will you live? That's no concern of yours, Comrade Liu. I had already made up my mind. Reborn into this life, I would not repeat the tragedy of the last. If he wanted a temporary divorce, then it would be permanent. Walking down the street, I felt the 50 yuan in my pocket, my entire savings, but it didn't matter. I possessed 30 years of memories and insight. In this era of just beginning reform and opening up, opportunities to make money were plentiful. First, I needed a place to stay. I thought of Aunt Wang in the hutong. In my past life, she had been kind to me, often offering help. She should still be living in that small courtyard home. Sure enough, Aunt Wang was astonished to see me. Zhiqing, child, what brings you here? Auntie, Liu Xiangbei and I have divorced. May I stay with you for a few days? Aunt Wang nearly choked on her tea. Divorced? But you only just married. Living separately wasn't appropriate, I explained simply, though puzzled. Aunt Wang took me in. All right, stay here for now. We'll figure things out gradually. That very evening, Liu Xiangbei showed up. Zhiqing, come back with me, he said, standing stiffly at the courtyard gate in his crisp military uniform. Back where? I stood on the threshold. Comrade Liu, we're divorced. Why should I go with you? Zhiqing, you know perfectly well this is only. I know nothing of the sort, I interrupted. A divorce is a divorce. There's no real or fake about it. Liu Xiangbei's face darkened with anger. Shen Zhiqing, how long do you intend to keep this up? Keep what up? I laughed coldly. Comrade Liu, you're the one who wanted the divorce. Now you accuse me of making a scene? How ironic. Lu Xiangbei clearly hadn't expected such defiance from me. Enough, I waved a hand dismissively. It's late. Please leave, Comrade Liu. With that, I shut the gate, paying no heed to his knocking. Early the next morning, I began planning my new life. First, I needed a job. But in these times, without a letter of introduction, finding formal employment was difficult. However, I recalled that in a few months, private business would be permitted. Now was the time to prepare, and I went to the recycling station and spent 10 yuan on a stack of old books and newspapers. Among them were many rare ancient texts, unappreciated now, but in a few years, they would be treasures. Then I visited the pigeon market, the black market of the time, though loosely regulated. I spent 20 yuan on various ration tickets and scarce goods, planning to resell them for a profit. After a busy morning, I returned to Aunt Wang's to find Lu Xiangbei waiting again. Zhiqing, we need to talk, we have nothing to discuss. I walked straight into the house. Lu Xiangbei followed me inside. Zhiqing, you can't be this willful. Willful? I turned to face him. Comrade Liu, what do you mean by willful? You asked for the divorce, and I complied. Now you call me willful, you know this is for work. I know, I nodded. But a divorce is a divorce. Work requirements have nothing to do with it. Lu Xiangbei was fuming. Shen Zhiqing, you've changed. Yes, I've changed, I admitted freely. Or did Comrade Liu expect me to remain unchanged forever? Lu Xiangbei was stunned, clearly unprepared for my response. All right, Comrade Liu. Return to your duties. I have my own affairs to attend to. What affairs? That's none of your concern. That night, Lu Xiangbei sat in Aunt Wang's courtyard until late before finally leaving. Through the window, I watched his retreating figure, my heart undisturbed. In my past life, I had sacrificed too much for this man. This time, I would live for myself. The following morning, as dawn broke, Lu Xiangbei's guard, Shaoli, appeared at my doorstep. Sister-in-law, the chief has sent me to escort you back, he said with utmost respect. Standing at the entrance. Sister-in-law? I nearly laughed aloud. Comrade Shaoli, I have divorced your chief. I am no longer a sister-in-law. Shaoli was momentarily taken aback. But the chief said, what did the chief say? I inquired. He said this is merely temporary and instructed me to ensure your return. I shook my head. Comrade Shaoli, the divorce certificate is genuine. There is nothing temporary about it. Please return and inform Comrade Liu to cease sending people after me. Shaoli hesitated. Sister Shen, please just come with me. The chief has been waiting for you all night. Waiting all night? I felt no stir within me. He often employed such tactics to soften my heart in the past. That was his affair. It had no bearing on me. Shaoli attempted to say something further, but I cut him off. That's enough. You may leave now. By 10 o'clock, I found myself in the department store, the largest in Yanjing, bustling with activity. Perfectly suited for my plans that day. I extracted some small items I had purchased yesterday from my bag and began setting up a stall in a corner. Watches, pens, cigarettes, candies, these were all in high demand. It wasn't too long before a crowd gathered around me. Comrade, how much for this watch? A middle-aged man inquired, eyeing a Shanghai brand timepiece. 80 yuan. Too expensive. Lower the price. 75. I cannot go any lower. After a moment's hesitation, he ultimately decided to buy it. I had acquired it for just 50 yuan, thus earning a profit of 25. Over the next 2 hours, I sold a considerable number of items, netting over 80 yuan. Just as I was about to pack up, I suddenly heard someone shout, Comrade, individual trading is not permitted. Alarmed, I recognized the voice of an official from the Industrial and Commercial Bureau. Hastily, I began to gather my belongings, but it was too late. Which unit are you from? Do you have a business license? A man in a Zhongshan suit approached. Comrade, this is just temporary. Temporary or not, you must come with us. Just then, a familiar voice rang out. What is going on? I turned to see Lu Xiangbei. Though dressed in civilian attire, his military aura was unmistakable. The bureau official evidently recognized him. Comrade Liu, what brings you here? Just passing by, he replied, stepping closer to me. This is my friend. Is there a misunderstanding? Your friend? Then that is fine, but do be careful next time, the official said politely. Once the man departed, Lu Xiangbei turned to me. Come with me. Thank you. But I do not require your assistance. I continued to pack my items, intending to leave. He blocked my path. Zhiqing, have you lost your mind? Selling goods on the street? I have not lost my mind. I need to earn a living. Are you short on money? Lu Xiangbei frowned. You could have told me, Comrade Lu, I interrupted, we are divorced. Why would I ask you for money? Zhiqing, how many times must I tell you? This is merely temporary. And what of that? I retorted. Even if it is temporary, we are still in a divorce state. What reason do I have to spend your money? Lu Xiangbei was momentarily at a loss for words. Moreover, I continued, I am more than capable of earning my own income. Why rely on others? As a woman, what does it say about you to be out in public like this? What does it say? I scoffed. Comrade Lu, we live in a new society where women can stand on equal footing. What is wrong with a woman earning her own money? Lu Xiangbei was left speechless. Enough. Thank you for your assistance today. But please do not concern yourself with my affairs in the future. With that, I turned to leave. He called after me, Zhiqing, where do you live? I did not look back. That is not a matter for Comrade Lu to worry about. Upon returning to Wang Dajiao's home, I began to tally my earnings for the day. In addition to the sold items, I had also acquired some antiques and artworks from others. Among them was a painting by Qi Baishe. Though slightly damaged, I recalled that it would be worth millions in the future. I had managed to purchase it for just 5 yuan. In the evening, when Wang Dajiao returned, she found me organizing my things and curiously asked, Girl, what are you doing? Auntie, I am conducting business. Conducting business? Wang Dajiao was taken aback. Isn't that just speculation? Auntie, the policies have changed. Individual trading will soon be permitted, I explained. Wang Dajiao appeared skeptical. Is that really true? Of course it is. Just wait and see. It won't be long before everyone is engaged in business. Just then, a knock echoed from outside. Zhiqing, I know you're in there. Open the door. It was Lu Xiangbei's voice. I gestured to Wang Dajiao, indicating she should not open the door. Zhiqing, let us talk. I remained silent. Lu Xiangbei waited outside for quite some time before ultimately leaving. The following day, I returned to the pigeon market, this time with even more goods, reinvesting all my earnings from yesterday. Business was remarkably brisk. Within half a day, I had sold out completely, netting over 150 yuan in profit. At this rate, it wouldn't be long before I amassed my first substantial savings. Just as I was preparing to head home, I encountered Lu Xiangbei once more. Are you following me? I asked, somewhat irritable. I am not following you. I am here on business, he clarified. What business necessitates a visit to the pigeon market? Lu Xiangbei was momentarily at a loss, clearly having come specifically to find me. All right, Comrade Lu, if you have time to follow me, you might as well pay more attention to your work. Zhiqing, can you at least allow me to explain? There is nothing to explain. I waved my hand dismissively. You tend to your affairs, and I shall tend to mine. We need not interfere with one another. Do you truly hate me that much? Lu Xiangbei suddenly asked. Hate? I was taken aback. In my previous life, I had indeed harbored hatred for him, resenting his indifference, his callousness, and the 30 years I had spent waiting. Yet now, I felt nothing. I do not hate you, I replied candidly, nor do I love you. I simply feel indifferent. Lu Xiangbei's expression darkened at once. What do you mean by indifference? Exactly what it sounds like, I shrugged. Comrade Lu, people do change, do they not? With that, I turned to leave him standing alone. That evening, Lu Xiangbei returned to Wang Dajiao's home, this time bringing a plethora of goods, rice, flour, oil, and even some meat and cloth rations. Zhiqing, take these for your use. No need. Take them back, I replied without looking up. Zhiqing, do you truly dislike me this much? Are you unwilling to accept even my goodwill? It is not dislike, I set down my ledger. Comrade Lu, do you believe it fitting for a divorced woman to accept her ex-husband's gifts? We are not truly divorced. Lu Xiangbei became somewhat agitated. Then what is this? I brandished the divorce certificate before him. Lu Xiangbei was rendered speechless with frustration. Enough, Comrade Lu. I have said all that needs to be said. Please take your leave. Lu Xiangbei gazed at me intently for a moment before finally departing. Watching his retreating figure, I felt no stir within me. In this life, I would not repeat the mistakes of the past. If he desired a sham divorce, then I would make it authentic. I wanted him to understand that without me, he would regret it for a lifetime. A month later, the government officially announced the allowance of individual trading. I had been prepared for this moment and promptly applied for a business license at the bureau. The day I received my license was one of great joy. It signified that I could conduct my business openly and without concealment. I rented a small storefront and began my foray into the clothing business. With the foresight of 30 years, I knew which styles would be in vogue and which materials were of high quality. Soon enough, My little shop gained a reputation in the vicinity, particularly for the several women-esque designs I crafted, simple yet elegant and fashionable. They were well received by young women. Business flourished, and my daily revenue steadily increased. Within 3 months, I had saved over 5,000 yuan. At that time, it was indeed a substantial sum. An ordinary worker earned merely 600 yuan a year. Just as I was preparing to expand my business, Lu Xiangbei reappeared. "Zhiqing, let us converse," he announced, standing at the entrance of my shop and attracting the attention of numerous passers-by. "Comrade Lu, is there something you need?" I continued to arrange the shelves without lifting my gaze. "Where did you acquire the funds to open your shop?" he inquired. "I earned it myself." "Is there a problem with that?" I retorted. A woman. How could she possibly amass such wealth? There was a hint of skepticism in his tone. I set down the clothing I was holding and fixed him with a cold stare. "Comrade Lu, what do you mean by that?" "I am merely concerned for you." "Concerned for me about what? Do you suspect I am engaging in illicit activities?" I interrupted. "Comrade Lu, every single yuan I possess is lawfully acquired. Feel free to investigate." Lu Xiangbei was momentarily at a loss for words. "That was not my intention." "Then what exactly do you mean?" I pressed. "I merely meant that as a woman, running a business is exceedingly arduous." "Arduous?" I laughed. "Comrade Lu, if you consider business to be tough, then what do you call waiting for death?" "What do you mean by waiting for death?" "Oh, it's nothing." I waved my hand dismissively. "If you have no further matters, please refrain from disrupting my business." Lu Xiangbei remained rooted to the spot. "Zhiqing, you have changed immensely." "Indeed, I have transformed, and I readily admit it. People are meant to evolve, are they not?" "You were not like this before." "How was I before?" I countered. "Was I obedient and easy to manipulate?" He was left speechless. "Comrade Lu, the compliant Shen Zhiqing is no more. I now live solely for myself." With that, I stepped into the shop, leaving Lu Xiangbei standing alone at the door. That evening, Aunt Wang informed me, "Girl, many people have come today inquiring about you." "What sort of people?" "I do not know. They were all unfamiliar faces, asking how you opened your shop and where the money came from." A sense of foreboding washed over me. It was undoubtedly Lu Xiangbei who had sent people to investigate. However, I felt no fear. My business was legitimate, and let them investigate if they wished. Indeed, the following day, officials from the Industrial and Commercial Bureau arrived for an inspection. They meticulously examined my accounts and inquired about my procurement channels. The final verdict was that everything was in order, with no issues found. After their departure, my spirits were unexpectedly lifted. This indicated that Lu Xiangbei had begun to feel anxious, seeking ways to trouble me. Unfortunately for him, my business was above board, and he could find no leverage against me. A month later, my business continued to flourish. Not only had I opened a branch, but I also commenced wholesale operations. Many merchants from other regions sought me out for supplies. My reputation in the business community grew, and I was increasingly referred to as Boss Shen. One day, while I was busy in the shop, an unexpected visitor arrived. "Zhiqing, it has been a long time." I looked up to see Lu Xiangbei's sister, Lu Xiaoya. "Xiaoya, what brings you here?" "I came to see the shop you've opened. I heard you are now a big boss." "Big boss? It is merely a small business." "Zhiqing, what is going on between you and my brother?" "He has been rather gloomy lately." I suppressed a smirk, but maintained a neutral expression. "I am not privy to my brother's affairs. We are divorced now." "Divorced?" Lu Xiaoya was taken aback. "When did this happen?" "A few months ago," I replied casually. "Didn't your brother inform you?" "He only mentioned a temporary separation for work reasons," I thought. "There's nothing temporary about it. Divorce is divorce," I interjected. Lu Xiaoya was momentarily stunned. "Zhiqing, you and my brother are not Xiaoya. Some matters are best left in the past. There is no need to revisit them." She seemed poised to say something, but I cut her off. "If you wish to buy clothes, I can offer you a discount. But if you intend to persuade me to reconcile with your brother, I must decline." Reluctantly, Lu Xiaoya departed. I knew she would relay my words to Lu Xiangbei. Sure enough, that very night, Lu Xiangbei came to see me. "Zhiqing, Xiaoya told me you are unwilling to reconcile?" "Reconcile?" I found it amusing. "Comrade Lu, when did we ever discuss reconciliation?" "I mentioned that it was only temporary." "That was your assertion. I never agreed to it." Lu Xiangbei was momentarily speechless. "Zhiqing, what do you truly want?" "What do I want?" I countered. "Shouldn't it be you asking what you desire?" "I want you to come home with me." "Which home?" I scoffed. "Comrade Lu, we are divorced now. There is no longer any home." Zhiqing, do not be so heartless. Heartless? I nearly laughed out loud. Who was heartless in the past? You made me wait for 30 years without any explanation. Is that not heartless? Comrade Liu, it is not I who am heartless. It is you who acted unkindly first. How was I unkind? You declared the divorce. I complied, and now you say I am heartless. How amusing. Lu Xiangbei was rendered speechless. Very well, Comrade Liu, it is getting late. You should take your leave. Zhiqing, cannot you give me a single chance? What opportunity? A chance to start anew. I shook my head. There are no chances left, Comrade Liu. We have concluded. His expression darkened. Is it because there is someone else? Someone else? I paused for a moment, then quickly grasped his implication. Comrade Liu, you are overthinking. I am solely focused on conducting business and earning money, with no time to contemplate anything else. Then why are you unwilling to return? Because it is unnecessary, I replied honestly. Comrade Liu, I am doing quite well now. Why would I wish to return to the past? Lu Xiangbei was momentarily taken aback. Do you believe being with me is undesirable? It is not that it is undesirable. It is simply uninteresting. My words struck a heavy chord, and his expression darkened significantly. Shen Zhiqing, you are being excessive. Excessive? I chuckled coldly. Comrade Liu, what constitutes excessive? You were the one who called for divorce, yet now you accuse me of being excessive? Lu Xiangbei found himself at a loss for words. Very well, Comrade Liu. I have said all I needed to say. Please take your leave. He cast a long, deep glance at me before ultimately departing. Watching his retreating figure, I felt no stirrings in my heart. In this lifetime, I would never again compromise myself for anyone. I intended to demonstrate to all that after leaving Lu Xiangbei. I thrived even more splendidly. 6 months later, my clothing business had burgeoned throughout the city of Yanjing. Not only did I possess 3 directly managed stores, but I also had over a dozen franchise outlets. My monthly net profit exceeded 20,000 yuan, a staggering figure for that time. I had transformed from Shen Zhiqing into the esteemed boss Shen, earning the respect of many. Numerous individuals began inquiring about my background, hoping to forge connections with me, including several notable figures. One day, while I was examining the accounts at the main store, a middle-aged man entered. May I ask if you are boss Shen? I am. I replied. And you are? I am Factory Director Zhang from the textile mill. I would like to discuss a potential collaboration. Upon realizing it was Director Zhang, I recalled that in my previous life, he later became a renowned entrepreneur. Director Zhang, please have a seat. What kind of collaboration do you have in mind? Our factory wishes to partner with you to produce garments. You would handle design and sales while we manage production. This proposal was indeed tempting. Yet I did not acquiesce immediately. Director Zhang, what are the specific terms of the collaboration? A 50-50 profit split. How does that sound? 50-50? I chuckled inwardly. This Director Zhang certainly knew how to calculate. Director Zhang, my current profit margin is 30%. Your proposal offers me no advantages. He appeared momentarily taken aback. Then what do you suggest? I will provide the designs and sales channels, while you handle production with a 70-30 profit split, favoring me. Director Zhang hesitated. You may take your time to consider. There is no rush for a response. Ultimately, Director Zhang acquiesced to my terms. On the day of the signing, many individuals attended, including Lu Xiangbei. He sat in the back row, clad in military attire, silent as ever. I pretended not to notice him, focusing intently on the collaboration proceedings. After the signing ceremony concluded, Lu Xiangbei approached. Zhiqing, may we have a word? Comrade Liu, what brings you here? You have become quite formidable, he observed, his gaze laced with complexity. Well, it's better than starving, I replied. Zhiqing, do you still harbor resentment towards me? Resentment? For what? I countered. For agreeing to the divorce back then. I shook my head. I don't blame you. In fact, I should be grateful. Grateful? Lu Xiangbei was taken aback. Indeed. If it weren't for your proposal of divorce, I would not have achieved what I have today. The weight of my words darkened his expression. Zhiqing, are you mocking me? Not at all, I replied candidly. I speak only the truth. His silence spoke volumes. Enough, Comrade Liu. I have matters to attend to, so I shall take my leave. As I turned to depart, he called out, Zhiqing, can we start anew? Without glancing back, I replied, if there was never a beginning, how can there be a restart? That evening, Wang Dama told me, girl, Comrade Liu has come again. He sat in the courtyard for 2 hours. Let him be. It has nothing to do with me. Girl, do you truly not miss him? Wang Dama inquired, her curiosity piqued. I do not, I answered honestly. Some encounters are meant to be missed. There is no need to look back. Wang Dama sighed. The thoughts of you young people are becoming increasingly incomprehensible to me. A month passed, and my business expanded into other cities. I established franchises in Tianjin, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. From boss Shen, I transformed into general manager Shen. One day, while I was in my office attending to documents, my secretary Xiao Wang rushed in to report, General Manager Shen. There is an officer claiming to be your friend who wishes to see you. I knew without a doubt it was Lu Xiangbei. Tell him I'm unavailable. Xiao Wang hesitated, but he insists on waiting for your return. Then let him wait. As the clock struck 6, Xiao Wang returned with another report, General Manager Shen. That officer is still outside. I sighed, let him in. When Lu Xiangbei entered, he appeared considerably more haggard. His uniform remained impeccably neat, yet he looked noticeably thinner. Zhiqing, you have finally agreed to see me. Comrade Lu, if you have something to say, please be direct. I have matters to attend to. Zhiqing, I have come to a realization. What realization? I now understand why I initially consented to that sham divorce. I set down my documents and what of it? I wish to apologize. Apologize? I nearly laughed. In my previous life, I waited 30 years without ever hearing an apology. Comrade Lu, there is no need for apologies. Let the past remain in the past. Zhiqing, can you find it in your heart to forgive me? There is nothing to forgive, I replied frankly, Comrade Lu. You were not at fault. It was an arrangement made by the organization, and you were powerless to alter it. Then would you be willing to start anew with me? I shook my head. I would not. Why not? There is no reason. I simply do not wish to. His expression soured. Is it because there is someone else? No. I am solely focused on my business. If there is no one else, why not grant me a chance? Because it is unnecessary, I replied. Comrade Lu, I am flourishing now. Why invite trouble? Is being with me trouble? Not trouble, but rather meaningless. The gravity of my words turned his complexion ashen. Shen Zhiqing, can you truly be so heartless? It is not heartlessness. It is reality. I stood, Comrade Lu. Some things are better left in the past. To force them is futile. I cannot believe you feel nothing for me. Feelings? I scoffed, Comrade Lu. Emotions can change, cannot they? His silence was telling. Enough, Comrade Lu. It is late. You should return. He gazed at me intensely. Zhiqing, I will not give up. That is your concern. I escorted him to the door, watching his retreating figure with a heart devoid of emotion. In this life, I would not repeat the mistakes of the past. Since you chose a false divorce, accept the consequences of a true separation. Fast forward to 1980, my fashion group had ascended to become one of the largest private enterprises in the country. Not only did it dominate the apparel industry, but I also began to venture into other fields, real estate, catering, and retail, all of which I invested in. I had transformed from Shen Zhiqing into the renowned businesswoman, General Manager Shen. Numerous media outlets began to cover my entrepreneurial journey, dubbing me a female powerhouse in the business world. Various accolades poured in. I was recognized as an outstanding contributor to the reform and opening up, an exemplary entrepreneur, and more. Yet, beneath these accolades, I understood clearly that all of this stemmed from my rebirth. Without the 30 years of memories and insights, I could not have achieved such success in such a short span. One day, while I was engrossed in my office work, my secretary Xiao Wang rushed in, visibly distressed. General Manager, something terrible has happened. Comrade Lu has been injured. My heart tightened. What happened? He was severely wounded while on a mission and is currently in the hospital fighting for his life. Despite our divorce over 2 years ago, the news unsettled me. Which hospital? The Military General Hospital. After a moment's hesitation, I resolved to visit him. After all, we had been acquaintances for many years. Upon arriving at the hospital, I learned that Lu Xiangbei's injuries were grave. A bullet had struck his lung, nearly claiming his life. His sister, Lu Xiaoya, was waiting outside the ward. And upon seeing me, tears streamed down her face. Zhiqing, you finally made it. How is he? He is still in surgery. The doctors say it is very critical. Lu Xiaoya sobbed. I waited in the corridor for 3 hours before the doctor emerged. The surgery was successful, but he requires further observation. Hearing this, my anxious heart finally eased. Thank you, doctor. Lu Xiaoya grasped my hand. Zhiqing, my brother was injured while saving a child. I remained silent, listening intently. The child fell into the river, and when my brother jumped in to rescue him, he was shot by a thug. What happened to the child? He was saved. But my brother almost lost his life, Lu Xiaoya said, her tears flowing once more. My heart was a tumult of emotions. I was at a loss for words. This was Lu Xiangbei's character, always prioritizing the safety of others above his own. It was the same in my previous life. He often neglected the most important people around him for the sake of work and others. Zhiqing, my brother has been thinking about you. He keeps mentioning your name. My heart stirred. Is he awake? He has awakened a few times but hasn't been coherent. He keeps mumbling nonsense. Just then, a voice emerged from the ward. Zhiqing, Zhiqing. It was Lu Xiangbei's voice, faint yet unmistakable. Lu Xiaoya urged me, Zhiqing, please go in and see him. After a moment's hesitation, I finally stepped through the door. Lu Xiangbei lay in the hospital bed, pale and unconscious, murmuring, Zhiqing, I'm sorry, Zhiqing. I approached his bedside and spoke softly, I'm here. Slowly, he opened his eyes and upon seeing me, tears welled up. Zhiqing, you came. Yes, I came to see you. Zhiqing, I thought I would never see you again. Do not speak. Focus on resting. Zhiqing, I was wrong. I truly was wrong. Witnessing his frail state stirred something within me, but I quickly subdued that emotion. No matter how pitiful he appeared now, it could not alter the events of the past. Please take care of yourself. I must take my leave. Zhiqing, don't go. Lu Xiangbei attempted to reach for me, but his body was too weak. I have matters to attend to. Zhiqing, I beg you, stay and keep me company. Looking into his pleading eyes, I felt a fleeting moment of hesitation. Yet ultimately, I chose to depart. Rest well. I shall return to see you again. As I exited the hospital room, Lu Xiaoya hurried after me. Zhiqing, are you truly leaving? Yes, there are matters at the company. Zhiqing, my brother really misses you. I am aware. Then you. I interrupted her. Xiaoya, some matters cannot be resolved merely by desire. Take good care of your brother. I must leave now. Upon returning to the company, I found it impossible to concentrate on my work. Images of Lu Xiangbei lying weakly on the hospital bed flooded my mind. He appeared so frail, so helpless, entirely devoid of his usual authority and assertiveness. Yet, I could not afford to be soft-hearted. The lessons from my past life were too profound. I could never allow myself to tread the same path again. That evening, upon arriving home, Aunt Wang inquired, Child, I heard that Director Lu was injured? Yes, quite severely. Did you go to see him? I did, but only for a brief moment. Aunt Wang sighed, Child, you both are good people. Why can't you live happily together? Aunt, some things lack a reason. It's simply a matter of insufficient fate. Fate? Aunt Wang shook her head. From what I see, your fates are intertwined deeply. It's just that you do not cherish it. I remained silent, retreating quietly to my room. Lying on my bed, I reflected on the myriad events of my past life. Deep down, I still harbored feelings for Lu Xiangbei. After all, he was the man I had loved for 30 years. Even in this rebirth, emotions cannot simply be severed. Yet, reason compelled me to avoid repeating the mistakes of my previous life. The agony of waiting was an experience I wished never to endure again. Therefore, regardless of Lu Xiangbei's current suffering or regret, I could not afford to show mercy. This was both a form of self-protection and a farewell to the past. The following day, I found myself unable to resist returning to the hospital. Lu Xiangbei's condition had improved somewhat. He could speak normally now. Upon seeing me, his eyes sparkled with joy. Zhiqing, you're here again. Yes, I came to see how you're recovering. Much better. The doctor says I should be discharged in a few days. That's good to hear. Zhiqing, could you sit down and chat with me? After a moment's hesitation, I acquiesced. What would you like to discuss? Let us talk about our past. What is there to discuss about the past? Zhiqing, I acknowledge my mistakes. I should not have agreed to that false divorce. I remained silent, simply listening. But you must understand my situation. As a soldier, I had to obey the organization's arrangements. I understand, I nodded. Can you forgive me? Lu Xiangbei, I addressed him by name for the first time. This isn't merely a matter of forgiveness. Then what is it? It's a matter of choice, I replied candidly. You chose to obey the organization. I now choose my own life. Does your choice mean you will never look back? Indeed. Lu Xiangbei was taken aback by my resolve. Zhiqing, are you truly this heartless? It is not heartlessness, it is clarity. I stood up. Lu Xiangbei, we are now inhabitants of two different worlds. Let us no longer entangle ourselves. I refuse to believe you have no feelings for me whatsoever. And if I do, what then? I retorted. Can feelings sustain one's livelihood? Can they guarantee that similar events won't recur? Lu Xiangbei fell silent. Enough. Focus on your recovery. I must take my leave. Zhiqing. Wait. I exited the room without glancing back. This time, I was genuinely bidding farewell to the past. After Lu Xiangbei was discharged, he began to pursue me fervently. Each day, bouquets of flowers arrived at my office, accompanied by a plethora of extravagant gifts. He even leveraged his connections to assist me in business endeavors. However, I resolutely declined all his offerings. President Shen, Director Liu is here again, Secretary Wang reported for the third time. Inform him I am unavailable. But he says he will wait indefinitely. I sighed. Let him wait. From my office window, I could see Lu Xiangbei's car parked below. He remained inside, waiting for an entire day. This persisted for a week. Finally, I could no longer contain myself and instructed Secretary Wang to bring him up. Lu Xiangbei, what exactly do you want? I wish to win back my wife. What wife? We are already divorced. That is merely a piece of paper. A piece of paper? I scoffed. Lu Xiangbei, you were not so dismissive before. Zhiqing, I admit I once thought too simplistically, but I have come to understand now. Understand what? Understand what is most important to me. And what does that matter? Zhiqing, I am willing to give up everything for you, including my career. The weight of his words momentarily stunned me. What did you say? I said I am willing to sacrifice everything for you, as long as you return to my side. Lu Xiangbei, are you out of your mind? I am not mad. I am serious. His gaze was unwavering. Zhiqing, I can transfer out of the military. I can leave the army, as long as you are willing to be with me. I was astounded by his declaration. In my past life, Lu Xiangbei had prioritized his career above all else, willing to sacrifice everything for his work. I never imagined he would now be willing to forsake his career for me. Yet it was too late. Lu Xiangbei, do you believe this will restore everything? I know it's difficult, but I am willing to try. No need to try. I shook my head. Some things once lost remain lost and cannot be reclaimed. Zhiqing, can you give me a chance? I have already given you a chance. It is you who failed to cherish it. That was because I did not understand. I interrupted him. Lu Xiangbei, you are 30 years old. What is there left to not understand? I did not comprehend the value of love, nor the pain of loss. And what good is that understanding now? Lu Xiangbei was rendered speechless. Enough, Lu Xiangbei. It is over between us. Do not waste any more time. I refuse to believe it is truly over. Then continue to hold on to your disbelief. I rose to my feet, but please refrain from disturbing my life again. Zhiqing, security, please escort our guest out. 2 security personnel entered, and Lu Xiangbei had no choice but to leave. Yet I knew he would not relinquish his pursuit so easily. The very next day, he returned, accompanied by an unexpected visitor. President Shen, 2 individuals wish to see you. One is Director Liu, and the other claims to be your mother. My mother? A wave of dread washed over me. Lu Xiangbei had even involved my family. Let them in. As the door opened, my mother, Mrs. Shen, entered first, followed by Lu Xiangbei. Zhiqing, why are you being so willful? She began reproaching me immediately. Mom, what brings you here? Is it not because Lu Xiangbei found me and said you two were at odds? I cast a glance at Lu Xiangbei, whose expression appeared somewhat awkward. Mom, we are not at odds. We are already divorced. Divorced? My mother was taken aback. When did this happen? How come I am unaware? It was 2 years ago. 2 years? Why didn't you tell me? I did not wish to burden you. Zhiqing, Lu Xiangbei interjected. I have already explained our situation to Aunt. Explain what? Explain why we divorced, and my current resolve to win you back. I inwardly scoffed. Lu Xiangbei was truly relentless. Zhiqing, my mother grasped my hand. Lu Xiangbei is a good man. Can't you two discuss your differences? Mom, this isn't merely a matter of differences. Then what is it? It is a matter of choice. I have chosen my current life and do not wish for change. Zhiqing, that is a rather absolute statement. Shen Mu, somewhat displeased, remarked. For Bei, you are willing to sacrifice your career. What more do you desire? Sacrifice my career? I glanced at Lu Xiangbei. What did you tell my mother? I spoke the truth. Lu Xiangbei replied candidly. I am willing to change my profession for you. Ah, a model man, Shen Mu continued to persuade. Such a good man is hard to find. Do not be oblivious to your own blessings. I felt a sense of helplessness. Mother, this is my affair. Please do not meddle. How can I not care? You are my daughter. Precisely because I am your daughter, I hope you can respect my choices. Shen Mu, slightly angered by my words, retorted. Why must you be so stubborn? It is not stubbornness. It is clarity. Clarity about what? What is wrong with Xiangbei? I cast a glance at Lu Xiangbei. He was nervously awaiting my response. Mother, he is not at fault. We simply are not suited for each other. What makes you say that? Were you not quite harmonious before? The past is the past. The present is the present. Shen Mu, somewhat helpless, implored. Can you not tell me what you are truly thinking? I remained silent for a moment, ultimately deciding to reveal part of the truth. Mother, some wounds cannot heal, and some trust cannot be rebuilt. What wounds? What trust? I glanced at Lu Xiangbei, then sighed. Forget it. You wouldn't understand, even if I explained. Qingzhen. Lu Xiangbei suddenly interjected. If it pertains to our previous false divorce, I am willing to spend my life making amends. Amends? I scoffed. Some things cannot be compensated. What must I do for you to forgive me? There is nothing to be done, I replied frankly, for I do not require your compensation. My words struck heavily, leaving Shen Mu and Lu Xiangbei momentarily stunned. Qingzhen, are you truly so heartless? Shen Mu questioned, disbelief evident in her voice. It is not heartlessness. It is reality. I stood up. Mother, I am doing well now. I truly do not need anyone's compensation. But there are no buts. I interrupted Shen Mu. Thank you for your concern. But let this matter rest. Qingzhen, Lu Xiangbei attempted to speak again. Xiangbei, I have made myself clear. It is over between us. I do not believe that. That is your concern. I escorted them to the door, where Shen Mu continued her efforts to persuade me. Qingzhen, please reconsider. Mother, there is no need for further contemplation. My decision is resolute. Watching them depart, I felt no stirrings within. In this life, I would never again compromise for anyone. In the spring of 1981, my career reached unprecedented heights. The clothing group was listed in Hong Kong, and I became one of the first female billionaires on the mainland. The myriad honors and accolades placed me at the pinnacle of my era. Numerous media outlets began to delve into my entrepreneurial journey, and I was invited to various high-level meetings. Yet, the more accomplished I became, the more I felt a profound emptiness within. The satisfaction derived from wealth and status was fleeting, while the sense of loneliness deepened. One day, as I was engrossed in paperwork at my office, my secretary, Xiao Wang, entered to report, President Shen, there is a man named Li Jianguo outside who wishes to see you.
Li Jianguo?
I pondered, unable to recall him. What does he do? He claims to be a researcher from a certain scientific research institute and wishes to discuss a collaboration. Intrigued by the mention of a research institute, I instructed, please let him in. The door opened to reveal a man in his 30s, bespectacled and scholarly in appearance. President Shen, greetings, I am Li Jianguo. Mr. Li, please take a seat. What sort of collaboration do you propose? Our institute is working on a project that requires funding support, and I heard that you have an interest in the tech industry. I indeed had an interest in technology, recognizing it as the future trend. What project is it? It pertains to research related to electronic computers. The term piqued my interest. It was a concept ahead of its time. Yet I understood it would become one of the most vital industries for decades to come. Could you elaborate? Li Jianguo proceeded to detail the project, elucidating its technical principles and market prospects with great clarity. The more I listened, the more intrigued I became. He was evidently a man of insight. Mr. Li, how much funding does your project require? The initial investment is approximately 5 million. 5 million was indeed a staggering sum back then, yet it posed no concern for me. If I invest, what conditions are attached? You would hold 60% of the shares while we handle the technical development. This proposal was enticing, and I was nearly ready to agree. However, my rational mind urged me to learn more about Li Jianguo. Mr. Li, could you share some details about your background? I am 32 years old, a Tsinghua University graduate, and have worked at the Research Institute for a decade. What about your family situation? I am not married and have dedicated myself to my work. Not married? I regarded him with renewed interest. While he was not conventionally handsome, he possessed an intellectual charm that was quite appealing. Mr. Li, I need time to consider this. I will get back to you in a few days. Certainly, thank you. President Shen. After leaving his contact information, he departed. That evening, I meticulously reviewed the project materials he had provided. The technical feasibility appeared high, and the market prospects were promising, indeed a lucrative investment opportunity. More importantly, I found myself with a favorable impression of Li Jianguo. He embodied a scholar's innocence, lacking the shrewdness often associated with businessmen, evoking a sense of sincerity. The following day, I made my decision. Mr. Li, I am willing to invest in your project. Really? That is wonderful. Li Jiangguo appeared genuinely elated. However, I have one condition. What is it? I wish to be involved in the project's daily management. Of course. As the investor, that is only right. Thus began our collaboration. In the ensuing months, I frequently visited the research institute, engaging in discussions about the project's progress with Li Jiangguo. He was exceptionally knowledgeable and dedicated, and our partnership flourished. Gradually, I discovered an appreciation for Li Jiangguo. Unlike Lu Xiangbei, he lacked the military's dominance and assertiveness. Instead, he was courteous and cultured. With him, I felt relaxed, free from pressure. This sensation rekindled memories of youthful romantic aspirations. Yet, could I still entertain notions of love? I was 30 years old, and a divorced woman. More crucially, the shadow of Lu Xiangbei lingered in my heart. Despite my efforts to forget, emotions are not easily cast aside. One day, Li Jiangguo unexpectedly asked, "President Shen, have you ever been married?" I was taken aback. "Why do you ask?" "I'm merely curious. A woman of your caliber should have been married long ago." But I am divorced now." "Oh," he replied, a hint of awkwardness in his tone. "I apologize for prying into such personal matters." "It is quite all right," I assured him. "It is all in the past. If it is not too intrusive, may I inquire why the marriage ended?" I hesitated for a moment. "Incompatibility, I suppose." "That is unfortunate." "Not really, some things cannot be forced." Li Jiangguo regarded me with a contemplative expression, as if he wished to speak yet held back. "What is it?" "Nothing. I just find it hard to see you struggling alone." "I am accustomed to it. It is manageable." "President Shen, do you not feel lonely?" "Lonely?" The question struck a chord within me. Surely, I felt loneliness, especially in the stillness of night, when that emptiness surged like a tide. Yet I could not admit it, for I had chosen this path. I am not lonely. I have my career, which keeps me fulfilled. While a career is important, one still needs emotional connections. "Mr. Li, are you expressing concern for me?" Li Jiangguo's face flushed as he stammered. "I just believe that a woman like you deserves a better life." Observing his bashful demeanor, I felt a sudden stir of emotion within me. This man genuinely cares for me. "Thank you for your concern, but I am quite content with my current situation." I continued, "Mr. Shen, if a suitable person were to appear, would you consider starting anew?" The question was posed so directly that I found myself momentarily taken aback. "Why do you ask?" "I simply wish to understand your thoughts." As I gazed into Li Jiangguo's eyes, I discerned a mixture of anticipation, anxiety, and a subtle affection. Suddenly, the meaning of his inquiry dawned upon me. This man is probing my feelings. He harbors an interest in me. My heart was a tumult of emotions, leaving me uncertain on how to respond. On one hand, I held a favorable impression of Li Jiangguo. He is indeed a commendable man. On the other hand, I had yet to fully emerge from the shadows of my past, uncertain if I was prepared to embark on a new romance. "Mr. Li, this question is quite complex. I need time to reflect." "I understand," Li Jiangguo nodded. "I merely wanted to convey that if you are willing, there will be someone who will cherish you." His words were subtly expressed, yet their meaning was unequivocal. I felt a mix of gratitude and unease. It was heartening to know someone was willing to treat me with sincerity, yet disquieting to wonder if I possessed the courage to begin anew. At that moment, the door swung open abruptly, and Lu Xiangbei strode in, his countenance grave. "Zhiqing, what are you busy with?" The sudden appearance of Lu Xiangbei ignited a wave of irritation within me. "How did you get in here?" "I came to discuss something with you." Lu Xiangbei's gaze flitted between me and Li Jiangguo, clearly sensing something amiss. "What matters?" "Personal matters," he said, glancing at Li Jiangguo. "And this gentleman is?" "My business partner." "Mr. Li Jiangguo," I introduced. "Mr. Li, I presume?" Lu Xiangbei extended his hand. "I am Lu Xiangbei." Li Jiangguo politely shook his hand. "Hello, Mr. Lu." "Commander Lu." I interjected. "He is the commander of the military district." Li Jiangguo appeared momentarily taken aback, then responded with heightened respect. "Greetings, Commander Lu." The military rank of Lu Xiangbei indeed rendered Li Jiangguo somewhat anxious, for in this era, the status of soldiers was exceedingly elevated. "Mr. Li, I have some personal matters to discuss with Zhiqing. Would you mind?" "Of course, I shall take my leave." Li Jiangguo perceptively stood up. "Mr. Li, we can discuss the project another day." I accompanied him to the door. After Li Jiangguo departed, Lu Xiangbei's expression darkened further. "Zhiqing, who exactly is this Li Jiangguo?" "As I mentioned, he is a business partner." "Is it truly that simple?" What else would you suppose it to be? I retorted. I noticed the way he looks at you, it seems. He is interested. I scoffed. Lu Xiangbei, what does that have to do with you? How could it not? You are my... What am I to you? I interrupted. Zhiqing, we have been divorced for over 2 years. My personal life does not require your oversight. Zhiqing, please don't be like this. What have I done? You know precisely what I mean. I do not comprehend your meaning. I replied candidly. Lu Xiangbei, what we shared has concluded. Please refrain from entangling yourself further. I wish to entangle myself. Lu Xiangbei suddenly grew agitated. Zhiqing, I cannot bear to see you with another man. Seeing me with another man? I found it amusing. Lu Xiangbei, what right do you have to dictate my life? I have the right because I love you. His declaration resonated heavily, silencing the entire office. I gazed at Lu Xiangbei, whose eyes brimmed with sincerity. Yet my heart remained unmoved. Love me? Lu Xiangbei, if you truly loved me, you would never have agreed to that sham divorce. Zhiqing, I admit I made a mistake back then, but no buts. I interrupted him. Lu Xiangbei, love is not merely spoken. It requires tangible proof. Is my current behavior not sufficient proof? What behavior? Clinging desperately? Zhiqing, you're being too heartless. It is not heartlessness, it is clarity. I rose. Lu Xiangbei, I will reiterate. What we had is over. Please do not disrupt my life any further. And if I refuse to agree, that is your concern, I replied honestly, but you cannot alter the reality of the situation. Zhiqing, do you truly intend to pursue a relationship with that Li Jianguo? That is of no concern to you. It is my concern, Lu Xiangbei insisted fervently. Zhiqing, you cannot be with anyone else. You can only be mine. I can only be yours? His words made me laugh in disbelief. Lu Xiangbei, who do you think you are? An emperor? I am not an emperor, but I am the one who loves you. Love me? If your love were genuine, you would have chosen me over your work. His words struck hard, leaving Lu Xiangbei momentarily speechless. Zhiqing, that was because no excuses, I cut him off. Lu Xiangbei, everyone must take responsibility for their choices, including you and me. So your current choice is Li Jianguo? My current choice is my own life, I answered candidly. As for Li Jianguo, that will depend on how things unfold. Zhiqing, I will not yield. That is your prerogative. I will prove to you that I am more suitable for you than anyone else. No proof is necessary, I shook my head. Lu Xiangbei, some things once missed are lost forever. I refuse to believe that. Your disbelief is your freedom, but facts remain facts. Lu Xiangbei cast a deep glance at me before ultimately departing. Watching his retreating figure, my heart was a tumult of conflicting feelings. I was not entirely devoid of sentiment. After all, he was the man I had loved for 30 years. Yet, reason told me I must not repeat the mistakes of the past. Moreover, I indeed had begun to harbor feelings for Li Jianguo. This man made me feel distinctly different. With him, I felt at ease and unburdened. Perhaps it was time to grant myself the opportunity for a fresh start. The following day, Li Jianguo sought me out. Mr. Shen, I apologize for yesterday's incident. I was unaware of your relationship with Commander Liu. There is no need for you to apologize, I interrupted. Yesterday's events were not your fault. Yet, I felt as though I had inconvenienced you. You have not caused any inconvenience, I assured him, shaking my head. Mr. Li, may I pose a question? Of course. What did you mean by the inquiries you made yesterday? Li Jianguo's cheeks turned crimson. I merely wish to understand your perspective. Was it solely for understanding? After a brief silence, he finally revealed his truth. Mr. Shen, to be honest, I have feelings for you. Feelings? Yes, from the moment I first met you, I sensed you were a truly exceptional woman. Exceptional in what way? Intelligent, independent, strong, qualities seldom found in women. Hearing such words stirred a sense of emotion within me. This was the first time someone had evaluated me not for my wealth or status, but for my intrinsic qualities. Mr. Li, your words make me feel quite proud. It is the truth, not mere flattery, Li Jianguo stated earnestly. So, what is your intention? If you are willing, I would like to explore a relationship with you. A relationship? A stir of emotions surged within me. This term echoes with youthful innocence, evoking fond memories of my earlier days. Mr. Li, are you certain? I am 2 years your senior, and have experienced divorce. Age is inconsequential. As for the divorce, Li Jianguo paused. The past is of little importance. What matters is the present and the future. His words radiated warmth, causing the defenses around my heart to waver. And regarding Commander Liu, if you are willing to be with me, I will manage everything. Gazing into Li Jianguo's resolute eyes, I suddenly reached a decision. Very well.
We may give it a try.
A smile instantly illuminated Li Jiangwo's face. Really? Indeed, I nodded, but let us first be friends and gradually get to know one another. Of course, I won't rush things. Thus, I embarked on a relationship with Li Jiangwo. We frequently discussed work, dined together, and took leisurely strolls. Li Jiangwo is a remarkably patient individual, never imposing his will upon me, always considering my feelings with great thoughtfulness. Being with him brings me a sense of relaxation and joy, reminiscent of the youthful yearning for love. Perhaps this is the happiness I have long sought. Our relationship with Li Jiangwo blossomed seamlessly, transitioning from partners to lovers. He is an attentive man, consistently surprising me with his thoughtful gestures. He remembers my preferred tea, my aversions to certain colors, and various little habits of mine. This feeling of being cherished gradually warms my heart. After 3 months together, Li Jiangwo made a proposal. Zhiqing, our project is progressing smoothly. I wish to relocate the company to Shenzhen. Shenzhen?
Why?
It is an economic special zone, with more open policies conducive to the growth of tech enterprises. This suggestion is quite reasonable. Shenzhen is indeed at the forefront of reform and opening up.
So,
What do you mean? I hope you will join me in developing in Shenzhen. Together in Shenzhen? This implies leaving Yanjing, departing from this place of turmoil. Jiangwo, are you certain? Absolutely. I wish to embark on a new venture with you and start a new life together. A new life? A flicker of excitement ignited within me. Indeed, I have lingered in Yanjing for too long, surrounded by memories of the past. Perhaps a change of environment could truly help me emerge from the shadows of my history. Very well, I agree. Really? Li Jiangwo's excitement was palpable. When shall we depart? Grant me a month to settle matters here. Just as we were discussing the relocation plans, Lu Xiangbei reappeared. His expression was grim, clearly having learned of our intentions. Zhiqing, you're planning to go to Shenzhen with him? Yes. Is there a problem? Of course, there is a problem, Lu Xiangbei exclaimed. You cannot leave Yanjing. Why not? Because this is your home. Home? I scoffed. Lu Xiangbei, where's my home? It is with me. With you? I found it amusing, Lu Xiangbei. Who proposed the divorce over 2 years ago? Zhiqing, I admit I was wrong. Wrong? I interrupted. Lu Xiangbei, can one simply pretend nothing has occurred after making a mistake? I can make amends. How will you make amends? With my remaining life. Remaining life? I shook my head. Lu Xiangbei, my remaining life is to be devoted to someone worthy. Am I not worthy? Not worthy, I stated bluntly. The weight of my words turned Lu Xiangbei's face a shade of ashen gray. Shen Zhiqing, you are utterly heartless. Heartless? I retorted. Lu Xiangbei, what does heartless mean? Who, for the sake of a so-called work obligation, unhesitatingly agreed to a divorce? That was because do not make excuses, I interjected. Lu Xiangbei, everyone must be accountable for their choices. So your current choice is to go to Shenzhen with Li Jiangwo?
yes.
I will not allow you to leave. By what right do you prevent my departure? By my love for you. Love me? I scoffed. Lu Xiangbei, if you truly loved me, you would bless my choice. I cannot bless a misguided decision. Who says my choice is misguided? Li Jiangwo is unworthy of you. Lu Xiangbei, you have made this assertion more than once. I am somewhat exasperated. I shall reiterate, whether he is worthy of me is not for you to determine. Zhiqing, return home with me. Let us start anew. Which home? I countered. Lu Xiangbei, we no longer possess a home. We can build a new one. No need, I shook my head. I have now made a new choice. Li Jiangwo cannot provide you with happiness. What is happiness? I know that best. Zhiqing, you are merely acting out of spite. Spite? I found it amusing. Lu Xiangbei, I am 30 years old, not 13. I do not engage in childish antics. Then why are you with Li Jiangwo? Because he treats me well. Because he truly loves me, and because being with him brings me joy. I can treat you well too. I genuinely love you. It is too late, I replied candidly. Lu Xiangbei, some things once missed cannot be reclaimed. I do not believe time can diminish everything. Then continue in your disbelief. I rose to my feet. Lu Xiangbei, I have made my decision. I will go to Shenzhen with Jiangwo in a month. Zhiqing, I will not let you go. That is your concern. But you cannot alter my resolution. Lu Xiangbei cast a deep glance at me before finally departing. Yet I knew he would not relinquish his pursuit easily. Indeed, in the subsequent days, Lu Xiangbei began to employ various connections to obstruct our plans. First, personnel from the Industrial and Commercial Bureau came to inspect my company, followed by tax officials auditing our accounts. Various departments took turns attempting to create complications for me. However, my business is entirely legitimate. They could uncover no issues. Instead, due to these unreasonable inspections, my reputation in the business community soared. Everyone understood that a company capable of enduring such rigorous scrutiny must be one that operates with integrity. Seeing these tactics prove ineffective, Lu Xiangbei sought me out once again. Zhiqing, must you oppose me? Oppose you? I found it amusing. Lu Xiangbei, who is truly opposing whom? You are fully aware that I do not wish for you to leave. And so what? My life does not require your orchestration. Zhiqing, I am doing this for your own good. For my own good? I scoffed. Lu Xiangbei, what does that even mean? Li Jiangguo cannot provide you with your current standard of living. Standard of living? I shook my head. Lu Xiangbei, you still do not comprehend. Money has ceased to hold significance for me. Then what is important? Emotion. I replied earnestly, only genuine feelings matter. Is my affection for you not sincere enough? Lu Xiangbei, true affection must be demonstrated through actions, not mere words. Are my current actions insufficient? They are sufficient, I nodded, sufficient for me to see your true nature. What true nature? Selfishness, tyranny, and unscrupulousness. The weight of my words rendered Lu Xiangbei's face ashen. Shen Zhiqing, you have gone too far. Too far? I retorted. Lu Xiangbei, what constitutes too far? Utilizing power to suppress innocent entrepreneurs. Is that not excessive? I did not suppress you. Did not. I scoffed. What then are these recent inspections? They are standard oversight. Standard oversight? I found it laughable. Lu Xiangbei, do you truly think I am a 3-year-old child? Lu Xiangbei was left speechless by my retort. Enough. Lu Xiangbei, I do not wish to debate this further. I rose from my seat. I will reiterate, my decision remains unchanged. Zhiqing, I implore you, do not leave. Witnessing Lu Xiangbei's pleading demeanor, I felt a fleeting moment of uncertainty. Yet I quickly solidified my resolve. Lu Xiangbei, if you truly love me, you should let me go. I cannot do it. That is your problem, not mine. Having said this, I departed, leaving Lu Xiangbei standing alone. A month later, Li Jiangguo and I officially embarked on our journey to Shenzhen. Before leaving, I visited Aunt Wang. Child, are you really leaving? Aunt Wang inquired with a hint of reluctance. Yes, Auntie, I'm heading south for new opportunities. That Commander Lu. Auntie, some things are best left in the past. Let us not dwell on them. Aunt Wang sighed. All right. You must forge your own path, and I support your decision. Thank you, Auntie. Once I settle in Shenzhen, I will bring you over to enjoy a comfortable life. No need, I'm too old for moving around. At the airport, we bid farewell, and Li Jiangguo thoughtfully handled all the formalities for me. Just as we were about to board, Lu Xiangbei suddenly appeared. Zhiqing, one last time, come home with me. I gazed at him, his eyes brimming with hope and reluctance. Yet, my resolve was unwavering. Lu Xiangbei, farewell. With that, I walked into the boarding gate alongside Li Jiangguo, not looking back. At the moment the plane took off, I glimpsed Lu Xiangbei still standing there. His figure grew smaller, ultimately vanishing from view. I knew this time it was truly a final farewell. From this point onward, I would commence a brand new life, cultivating a future with Li Jiangguo on this vibrant land of Shenzhen. Life in Shenzhen proved to be more exhilarating than I had anticipated. The city thrived with vitality and opportunity, transforming each day with fresh possibilities. Li Jiangguo and I swiftly established our technology company, which became a well-known high-tech enterprise within merely 6 months. More importantly, our relationship deepened profoundly. Li Jiangguo is a devoted man, dedicating all of his thoughts to me. He never allows me to feel lonely, always by my side. This sense of being cherished reignited the happiness of womanhood within me. On the eve of the 1982 Spring Festival, Li Jiangguo unexpectedly proposed a suggestion that took me by surprise. Zhiqing, let us marry. Marriage? I was momentarily taken aback. Although we had been together for over a year, this topic had never been broached before. Jiangguo, are you certain? Absolutely, Li Jiangguo replied earnestly. Zhiqing, I wish to give you a title. To let the world know you are my wife. Looking into his sincere eyes, warmth surged within me. This was the happiness I had long sought. Simple, genuine, untainted. Very well. I agree. Really?
Li Jiangguo exclaimed, rising in excitement.
Indeed, I nodded. Li Jiangguo embraced me fervently. Zhiqing, I will ensure your happiness. I believe you. We decided to hold our wedding in Shenzhen, inviting a few friends and colleagues to join us. The news reverberated back to Yanjing, causing quite a stir. Many were taken aback that I would restart my life in Shenzhen, and even more so that I would remarry so swiftly. Aunt Wang called specifically to congratulate me, child. Congratulations on finding true happiness.
Thank you, Auntie.
That Commander Liu has been searching for you these past few months. Upon hearing Liu Xiangbei's name, my emotions became complex. Yet, I quickly steadied myself. Auntie, let the past remain in the past. Indeed, one must look forward. The day before the wedding, I received an unexpected phone call. Zhiqing. It's me, came Liu Xiangbei's voice, tightening my chest. How did you find this number? I have my ways. Liu Xiangbei's tone was heavy. Zhiqing, are you truly getting married?
Yes.
I beg you, reconsider one last time. Reconsider what? Consider our feelings, consider our past. Liu Xiangbei, our past has concluded. It has not ended. In my heart, it will never end. That is your concern, I responded candidly. Liu Xiangbei, I have found my own happiness. Li Jiangguo cannot offer you genuine happiness. What constitutes genuine happiness? I know best. Zhiqing, do you still love me? The question was posed so directly that I fell silent for a moment. To claim I did not love him would be disingenuous. After all, he was the man I had loved for 30 years. However, love cannot be consumed as sustenance. Nor does it guarantee a future free from pain. Liu Xiangbei, whether I love you or not is no longer significant. What matters is that I have chosen a new life. Zhiqing, bless me. That is the last thing you can do for me. With that, I hung up the phone. The following day, Li Jiangguo and I held a simple yet heartwarming wedding ceremony. Though lacking in extravagance, the sincerity of the well-wishers enveloped us. At the moment we exchanged rings, an unprecedented tranquility flooded my heart. This was the life I yearned for, simple, authentic, and filled with love. Li Jiangguo whispered in my ear. Zhiqing, from now on, I will love you with my life. I nodded, tears of joy welling in my eyes. After the wedding, we honeymooned by the seaside. As the sun set, we strolled hand in hand along the beach. Zhiqing, are you happy? Li Jiangguo asked. Very happy, I replied honestly. Jingguo, thank you for giving me a second chance at happiness. It is what I ought to do, Li Jiangguo said gently. Zhiqing, we'll continue to be happy. I believe so. Watching the distant sunset, profound reflections welled within me. In this rebirth, I finally comprehended what true happiness entails. It is neither wealth nor status, nor the fervor of grand romance. It is having someone who genuinely loves you by your side, a warm home, and a career you cherish. These seemingly ordinary elements constitute life's most precious treasures. In my previous life, I lost too many beautiful moments waiting for Liu Xiangbei. In this life, I shall no longer wait for anyone. I will live for myself, live for the present. Liu Xiangbei, thank you for granting me the opportunity to start anew. Though we could not reach the end together, you taught me what is precious and what is worth pursuing. Now I have found true happiness, and I hope you too will discover your own. Farewell, my past. Hello, my future. On the beaches of Shenzhen, Li Jiangguo and I walked toward the horizon, embraced by the setting sun. Our silhouettes left long impressions in the sand, footprints leading toward happiness. 3 years later, we welcomed our own child, a delightful daughter. 5 years hence, our company emerged as a leading enterprise in the domestic technology sector. A decade later, we moved into a grand seaside villa, living a life akin to celestial lovers. As for Liu Xiangbei, I heard he eventually married as well, choosing a suitable girl from a military family. Yet, I no longer concern myself with such matters, for I have found my own happiness. In this new life, I learned how to choose, how to let go, and how to live for myself. This is the finest gift I have bestowed upon myself, and the most heartfelt farewell to my past. From now on, I am myself, not anyone's appendage, not a mere waiting soul. I am Shen Zhiqing, a woman living for herself, a woman who has genuinely attained happiness.
The end.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe and give a thumbs up to support. Until we meet again in the next story.